The Thunderhead autocannon is the alternate primary weapon for the gunner in Deep Rock Galactic, and it's an absolute monster at crowd control. For those of you new to Deep Rock Galactic or the gunner class, this build is going to be tailored for you. You don't need any overclocks with this gun because this build is about making sure you can do your class's role and you can do it reliably. You're the gunner, the bodyguard of the team. It's your job to make sure that the team doesn't go down and get overrun by too many swarms of enemies. With this build, you're going to start becoming a player that can help carry a team. Hi guys, I'm Legionless and this channel is about helping you enjoy your games more. If you want to enjoy your games more, subscribe to the channel and like this video to help me out. The autocannon fires fairly slowly, especially when you first press the trigger, and it can be tough to manage its widespread. You're probably fairly familiar with the gunner's starting primary weapon, the minigun, so you're probably familiar with the minigun being really good at focus damage. On the flip side, the autocannon truly shines as a crowd control weapon capable of hitting numerous enemies at the same time with bullets that have a small area of effect when they land. But to make sure you're living up to your role on the team and using this weapon to kill dozens of enemies, we're going to make a lot of quality of life improvements. It's not going to matter how much experience you have with this weapon yet, because this build is going to make things easy. In Tier 1, expanded ammo bags gives you an extra 220 ammo. This ammo is going to be really important in longer missions with a lot of enemies, especially if you're running without a lot of resupply pods. Increased caliber rounds gives an increase in damage to each bullet, but it's going to be more important for you to take the extra ammo, especially if you're not used to the weapon and how it shoots, because you'll probably be wasting ammo with missed shots. High capacity magazine doubles the magazine size, which is nice because you'll reload less often, but it doesn't give you any extra ammo like expanded ammo bags does. In Tier 2, tighter barrel alignment is going to improve the accuracy of the weapon for you by making the base spread better. What this means is that the circle of your reticle will shrink. This circle is the area your bullets can land, even if you're aiming for a bug right in the middle of that circle. This is a huge quality of life improvement for the autocannon. You'll be able to easily hit anything you aim for, maybe even enemies further away, like acid or web spitters. Both improved gas system and lighter barrel assembly are good options for when you're more experienced with the gun, especially when you're ready to tackle some of the hardest missions in the game or deep dives, but for now, stick with tighter barrel alignment. In Tier 3, we're going to go with another mod that's going to make things a lot easier for you. Loaded rounds increases the splash damage the bullets fired from the autocannon do. What this looks like is if you shoot a bullet into a grunt, part of that bullet that hits the grunt will have a small area of effect and hit the guard next to it. Now, multiply this for each bullet, and you'll see why the autocannon is so good at crowd control, because it can hit multiple enemies at the same time, and with this build, you're going to be really good at that because of the mods focused around it. The other two mods in Tier 3 are fine, but they really shine in other ways that this build just isn't aiming for, like really large damage per second and end-game content. In Tier 4, Shrapnel rounds pairs really well with loaded rounds from Tier 3. What Shrapnel rounds does is it increases the splash damage radius, and at that same time, loaded rounds increases the damage done from that increased area of effect. Both of these working together means that you can be a little inaccurate with your aim and have the splash damage from the bullets help you out, but the bullets that do hit will also help you kill multiple enemies at the same time. Now, this isn't to say that the only other option in Tier 4 isn't good. In fact, hardened rounds, which makes bullets from the autocannon break armor more quickly, is really good since it makes the weak points on Praetorians easier to hit, but the synergy between shrapnel rounds and loaded rounds is just so much better than what you can gain from hardened rounds. In Tier 5, damage resistance at full rate of fire reduces any damage you take by 33%, while the autocannon is at its maximum fire rate. If you know anything about the gunner, you know how slow he moves, especially when firing his massive weapons. Because of this slow movement, everything else is moving so much faster than the gunner, and you're going to take damage from the countless melee enemies in the game. With this mod, you're going to survive more and do your job better because of it. The autocannon is the best weapon the gunner has at crowd control by default. With this build, you'll lean into the strengths it has at dealing damage to multiple enemies at the same time, while minimizing its inaccuracy and slow movement while firing. You'll have plenty of ammo in case you miss, or if you're running long missions with a lot of bugs to kill. This build is a great starting point for new players to Deep Rock Galactic or the gunner class. The next autocannon build is going to be for non-beginners who are starting to play endgame content and collect overclocks and cosmetics. This beginner build is all about reliably sustaining you throughout any mission with a small small sacrifice in firepower that means enemies need a little bit more before going down. The next build will be sort of opposite of that. You'll have a lot more firepower, enemies will go down faster, but if you don't pay attention to your resupply pods or if missions run too long, you won't have as much sustain and ammo as this beginner's build. If you want to enjoy your games more, subscribe to the channel and like this video to help me out. Share this video with others to help them enjoy their games more. And join the Discord where we're talking about the builds and weapons we love to use. Thanks for watching.